Hi everyone, my name is Grace O'Rourke. I'm a kindergarten teacher and a graduate student at Molloy University. Today, I'm excited to share my action research project titled Conflict Resolution During Playtime. This study focused on helping young learners develop the skills to independently resolve peer conflicts using structured, age-appropriate strategies. The topic was inspired by my daily classroom experiences. During playtime, I noticed frequent peer conflicts, grabbing toys, yelling, or needing constant teacher intervention. Instead of simply stepping in each time, I want to teach my students how to manage these movements on their own. I used the 4Rs method of conflict resolution, which stands for reading, writing, respect, and resolution, and integrated it with social emotional learning, or SEL, strategies supported by research. Programs like those studied by Dixon, Gomez, and Cow show that SEL tools improved peer relationships and emotional regulation, especially in early childhood. My research question asked, to what extent can a 15-minute daily structured playtime intervention using the 4Rs method improve conflict resolution skills in kindergartners? I also explored what strategies students naturally use, the teacher's role in supporting conflict resolution, and how materials used during playtime might impact conflict types. I was driven by a desire to not only reduce classroom disruptions, but to foster empathy, independence, and self-control in my students. Over 4 weeks, I worked with 20 students in my kindergarten class. Each day, I introduced a 15-minute playtime block that emphasized conflict resolution. We practiced 4 key steps: take a deep breath, state how you feel, listen to others, and find a solution together. I supported this process by using visual aids, role playing, and student led reflection circles. I tracked their progress through checklists, teacher laws, Likert scale surveys, and small focus group discussions. This allowed me to gather both quantitative and qualitative data on student growth. The results were encouraging. By the end of the intervention, students reported feeling much more comfortable handling conflicts, shifting from sad or okay to happy and very happy on their self-reflection scales. Now, under methodology, you could see the Likert scale of that image of how they can show how they were feeling. This was a noticeable drop in how often I had to intervene during peer conflicts. Students began using strategies like state how you feel and compromise/take turns more frequently and effectively. In fact, I observed students reminding each other of these steps without adult prompting. Positive behaviors, or what we called bucket filling, increased while negative behaviors, or bucket dipping, decreased. That shift showed me that they weren't just practicing these strategies, they were internalizing them as well. So as well, the I am a bucket filler, that sheet is an example of what they used. And then right next to it, under the results and limitations, the student comfort levels over time increased, as well as the students being bucket fillers over time. And you can see that in both of the charts. However, not all strategies were equally effective. Ignoring/walk away was often misunderstood or misused. The students who tried it didn't feel conflicts were truly resolved. This pointed to the need for additional modeling or role playing to help students understand when that approach works best. This experience really transformed how I view both action research and the classroom environment I'm creating. I used to see research as just data collection. Now I see it as a tool for reflection and change. It helped me become more responsive to my students and more intentional in building a classroom culture where social emotional growth is prioritized alongside academics. Playtime, I realized, isn't just a break, it's a meaningful learning opportunity. The implications of this study are clear. Structured conflict resolution strategies can and should be taught early. Teachers can use simple visuals, role play, and reflection time to help students practice and apply these tools. I also believe that professional development in SEL would empower more educators to implement these strategies with confidence. Additionally, involving families can make it even greater. Just as we ask parents to support reading and math at home, we can encourage them to reinforce conflict resolution strategies too. In conclusion, this project showed me that when we teach young children how to resolve conflicts, we're not just managing behavior, we're teaching life skills. As students gained confidence, they became more independent, more empathetic, and more engaged during playtime. And as a teacher, I gained new tools and a stronger belief in the power of SEL to transform the classroom environment. Now, I was surprised by just how in 4 weeks, how my students were able to change just in the way that they spoke to each other and how they were able to resolve any conflicts. In the beginning, it felt like the students were maybe not going to get there in 4 weeks, and that time maybe was that limitation, that the time wasn't long enough. We're still continuing to use this, and I've noticed an even greater change, but 4 weeks was a perfect time to notice changes, drastic changes over time, even just the way the students internalized how to work together with each other. Lastly, just thank you so much for watching and learning about my research. If you're an educator, I hope that inspires you to try incorporating conflict resolution strategies into your own practice. Even a few minutes a day can make a very meaningful difference. Thank you.